Hey everybody, Nathan Ronen here with another update for people that would like to get some more career enhancing advice. I've been asked this question many times by candidates who are in my program over the years. I actually just, got asked it maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I said to myself, you know what, I might as well share my experience and share my opinion, and that's what it is, an opinion. And this specifically deals with Nathan, you've worked a lot of different kinds of jobs in your career, a lot of different functions. Do you have any kind of career advice of how to succeed on the job, or any kind of pitfalls or traps? It's a great question. I gave it some thought. And so I'd like to share that with you. If you'd like to continue to get these kinds of updates as I post them, please feel free to push the subscribe button and the notifications button so that you can get them when I post them on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. Hey, Nathan, I noticed that, on your website and everything, you've worked for a lot of different companies and a lot of different kinds of functions, and that's true. I worked as a corporate finance analyst. I was a merger and acquisitions analyst. I worked in compliance. I worked in even in the travel industry a little while. I worked in asset management as a compliance officer. I also worked in the brokerage industry as a broker for a while. I worked as a consultant for many different companies: Arthur Andersen, Okasan International, New York Life Investment Management, and the FINRA organization. And one of the things that I've learned is, and that I'd like to share with you, is that there are traps that you could fall into that could sometimes cause you to lose a job. Okay, and one of them is, how do you interact with your colleagues at work? Okay, now let's start this out with a caveat. I realize that this may not agree with everybody, and that's fine. People are entitled to have different opinions. That's fine. This is based on my own experience. This is based on what I've seen before. So I'm sharing it with you, and you can take it or leave it. Maybe for some of you, it'll even resonate. And for others, it will accentuate something that happened to you, and maybe you'll learn from it. How you work with your colleagues is very important. And one of the traps that I think you should be aware of and you should keep in mind is, your colleagues at work are really not there to be your friends. Now, I know that's going to hit some people like a ton of bricks, and they're going to go, hey, some of my best friends are my... You have friends from high school, from college, from your MBA program, from your PhD program, your friends from childhood. But at the workplace, rule number one, your colleagues are there to do a job. They're there to make money, okay? They are not hired to be your friends, and it's very difficult to create that same kind of level of friendship, because at the end of the day, guess what? That person who's your friend today, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, can get another job offer and they are gone, okay? So don't look at your colleagues as your friends, because they're not. They're there to do the same thing that you're there, to make more money, to go up the corporate ladder, to succeed, and a lot of times they could even push you under the bus just to get that edge. That would be my first trap that you should be aware of. Now, have people actually made friends at work? Absolutely. I had friends at work too, but you have to be careful about thinking that your colleagues are your friends. Doesn't mean they cannot be, but generally they're not going to be. The second one that I would probably say is a trap is, and you've probably seen this in the office, and maybe you're guilty of doing this as well, is telling your colleagues about your personal life. Okay. I've seen people over the years, telling people about their divorce that they're going through, or even, things that are, sexually explicit that they do with their spouses. I mean, crazy stuff. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? Or why are you telling other people this? This should not be discussed in the office at all. I've seen people talk about the investments that they're about to make. I've even seen people telling their colleagues about a company that they're applying to look for a better job. My God, that is craziness to me. Your colleagues don't need to know your personal life. Now, could you tell them something like you're married or you have children or how old you are? Yeah, I mean, you're not a stone, but I wouldn't be like sharing with them all aspects of your personal life. How you interact with your children, how you interact with your wife or husband. What kind of investments you're making, what kind of stocks you like, how much money you have, how much you spent on a trip for vacation, what kind of car you just purchased. They don't need to know all this stuff. It's not important. It's not creating a bond. It truly is not. It creates a lot of times jealousies and frustrations, and many times could actually, again, push you under the bus because, I know a colleague of mine who years ago told other people about a job that they were applying for. Somebody went in there anonymously and told the boss. And guess what? They were let go very shortly afterwards. Don't do that. That's a no-no. And also your investments. I wouldn't tell them about your investments and how much you have invested, what stocks, what mutual funds. Wouldn't do that. And then the third one is also a big one. Companies all the time come out with new policies, new procedures, and they expect you to follow it. And a lot of them you're going to like, and a lot of them you're going to dislike. But if you disagree or dislike a company policy, the last thing to do is share that with your colleagues. Because if that information gets passed on to higher ups, you are considered to be a cancer in the organization. They expect you many times in corporations to be just like a soldier in the army, following orders. So they pay you a salary, they're signing your check, they have changes in policy. Accept it, implement it, even if you wholeheartedly disagree with it. If you cannot do it, then obviously leave the company, find another job, or start your own company or start your own business. But when you disagree with company policy overall, I would say don't share it with your colleagues because you never know, it'll probably come back and haunt you. Those would be the three traps that I think you don't want to fall into when you're working at any company, lower level, middle level, higher level, and that you'd want to follow through on. Okay, so if you disagree again, no problem at all. If your best friends in life are those at your work, that's fine. But don't be surprised if sometime along your career, one of these three traps comes to fruition. I'm not guaranteeing it, but it can happen very easily. Good luck to you in your employment. Good luck to you in your job search. Good luck to you in your careers. And that's my little take for today. Have a great day. Bye.